Hey, Daren Martin, I am so honored and thrilled to be at AXXESS today with the great CEO, founder. I don't even know what your title is, John, but you started this company.
Right, I did.
So, talking about company culture, we connected a while back through one of your executives who I met on a plane.
Yeah.
I gave him a copy of a company of owners, and it turns out y'all started using it within the company, and then we got to hang out at the Byron Nelson and started talking. And kind of spoiler alert, but you started talking about, hey, maybe we should write a book together,
Right.
called
right.
A Country of Owners,
Right.
about your home country of Nigeria. And so we just came out of a little briefing meeting where I think we're hatching a pretty good plan to do that. But really, the reason I'm here today is to talk about this amazing culture that you have created at AXXESS.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, and John, I'm going to take a stab at it, but I'm not going to take a stab at it. How do you pronounce your last name?
Olajide.
Olajide.
Just the way it's spelled.
Just the way it's
Darren,
spelled?
Just the way it's spelled. Olajide.
Okay. If I could actually read, that might be helpful.
Exactly.
So, talk just a little bit about, how you started this company, what was the thinking behind it, and what was the genesis of it?
Great question. So I was in college. At the time, I attended the University of Texas at Dallas. And while I was in college, I have an aunt that worked for a healthcare and home organization, a home health organization. And I was visiting one afternoon. I was a broke college student, so I'm sure I was going to go pick up cash from her, and I went over. And when I got there, I noticed there were several people working at different at their workstations, and I just started asking questions. Are this computer set up on a network? Can you talk to each other? And just asked a lot of questions. And she said they weren't set up on a computer network, so I shared the benefits of doing that with her. And then she took me to her boss. I essentially became the IT guy for that business, and was exposed to just all aspects of that organization. And I realized very early on that the healthcare, that organization was underserved from a technology perspective, and the healthcare at home organization was industry was underserved from a technology perspective, and I thought I should help them, and I've been helping them ever since.
I love it. So many businesses are started out of a gap, a need, seeing that. So kudos for you that you walked in and realized, hey, you're not being efficient. My hunch is that that probably happens with you a lot. It's an occupational hazard for me. I walk into business, I'm like, why are they doing it this way?
Well, you're exactly right, but I think it's a lot easier now, because so our people at AXXESS, we call them Axxessians. So it's in our DNA to want to help.
Axxessians.
Axxessians.
Okay,
it's in our DNA to want to solve problems.
Right.
So we've solved a lot of problems since. So whenever we're working with our clients and they have things that they need help with, we spend time thinking about it and solve that for them and integrate that into what we're already doing for them. So it's in our DNA now. So you're right. I love to help people. I love to solve problems. But now I've got an entire organization of people, just an entire organism.
Right.
People. I've read that
Right.
somewhere about organizations being organisms.
Yeah.
So we've got an entire group of people that care about solving problems,
Right.
making lives better, that care about healthcare in the home. We believe at AXXESS the future of healthcare is in the home. I believe that very deeply as well. So we have a lot of people working hard to make that as easy as possible, where our clients and healthcare professionals can be truly empowered with our solutions to care for their patients or care for their clients, and be empowered to do so the clients can get better care, better outcomes. So now it's not just me, there are lots of people here that care about that.
So, Google is well known for not coming up with new products, but figuring out problems and solving those. They discovered it many years ago that only 30% of people were checking out. They'd put it in the cart, but then when they had to go and put in all their information, so they came up with, I don't remember what it was. I don't think it was a hit, but Google Pay or something. They tried to resolve friction. There's a lot of friction in the healthcare space, right? So much bureaucracy and so many different things. So I love the fact that y'all are out there seeing what are the holdups and what's keeping people from living their best life, even if they're in poor health, and starting to solve those solutions. Because not every organization does that. A lot of companies going, oh well, we don't. Oh, it's too bad you're having that problem. It sounds like you have really built this organization with that mindset. How have you done that? How have you accomplished that?
We have something at AXXESS that we call the AXXESS Way. So I can start there.
Okay,
And what
let's hear that.
So what that does, it really just summarizes who we are and who we want to be at all times. Firstly, for our people, then our clients, for our partners that we do business with, the community, and lastly, our shareholders. So for our people, it's important that we provide an environment for them where they can do their best work, where they can care about what we do. I shared earlier that Axxessians, our people at AXXESS, care about healthcare at home. They care about care in the home. We believe the future of care is in the home. Technology, cost, patient choice, and convenience is driving healthcare home, is driving care home. I'm sure, Daren, that you would much rather get quality care at home than be in a hospital somewhere where you can get sepsis or whatever else, whatever infection. So at AXXESS, we care about that. So our people care about that. So how can we empower them to do their best job? How can we empower them to make sure we recognize their merit? How can we empower them so they understand that they're an important part of our success story? So there are times when I am looking at our solutions and I remember and I look at the software and I see some feature or functionality or a solution that an Axxessian suggested and explained how it should work. And I said, that came from such and such person. So it's a very collaborative culture, and they understand that we're solving this problem together. Our cultures made the best idea win, whether you're the CEO or a new intern, your voice matters. Let's work together. Let's solve this problem and let's make it better. So for Axxessians, the AXXESS Way is making sure that they're an important part of our success story. They care. They know we care about them. We empower them. We help them be successful. And then for our clients, it's making sure that they get a sense that they're getting a lot more than they're paying us for. We need to understand their challenges even better than they do to help them be successful. It's important that we treat them well at all times so they can tell others about AXXESS. And most importantly, it's important that they recognize that we're a partner. That we're not just trying to sell them anything. We're a partner.
Right.
We're helping them, as you mentioned earlier, eliminate friction.
Trusted advisor, I call it.
advisor.
Yeah.
How can we help them be more successful?
Right.
And then for our partners, there's that popular saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. So we're hardworking people. We couldn't have come this far alone. We've gotten a lot of help from our partners. They're part of our. They're important. They're very important to us. So it's important that we have trusting relationships with them, where we all win. They win. We win. Our clients win. Ultimately, patients or individuals win. That's very important. So they're an important part of our success story, where we're partners with them in helping solve this important problem that I've described already by getting quality care wherever you are. And then for the community, look, we wouldn't be here if others hadn't done some work to build a community to help us be successful.
Right.
So in a lot of ways, we're standing on the shoulders of a lot of people. So every opportunity we have to give back, pay it forward, invest in our community, and leave it better than we met it, that's very important to us at AXXESS. That's an important part of the AXXESS Way. And then for our shareholders, we believe once you've done all that, you've taken care of our people, your people, you've taken care of the clients, you've taken care of your partners, you've taken care of the community, all the results follow. So I'm the founder of AXXESS and a proud shareholder too.
Right.
Very excited shareholder because I love what this organization is doing. And I can step up and say I'm proud to be associated with AXXESS because they are great people. We won more Best Place to Work awards than we can count. They're a great member of the community. They're a responsible member of the community. They're a member of the community that you can be proud of. They have good friends. They keep good company. They have good partners that they do business with. Their clients are excited. Their clients are growing. Their clients are being successful. Their clients are doing important work, which is figuring out ways to deliver the best care at home. So as a shareholder, once all that happens, the results are obvious. It's worked for us. So that's the AXXESS Way. That's really what drives our culture overall.
Okay, so I was telling you when we walked, I had not been here before. We've talked, we've connected, all of this.
I thought you had been here before for some reason. I'm surprised
we talked
when you
about
shared
it.
that.
We need to think about this again, but we both get so busy, we just lose sight of stuff.
You were a lot busier than me.
Well, no, not anywhere close. But we talked about maybe coming over, doing a lunch and learn or something, just kind of a give back for the company from my standpoint because of how supportive y'all have been. But we walked in today and our eyes lit up, because I always say about culture, it's in the air. You can feel it. It's palpable. It's right, and you can walk into some businesses and it looks like everybody hates being there and it's just a drag. This place is vibrant. I mean, I was looking for I love the
arcade.
The arcade. I thought I saw
karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke. I mean, we'll get some of this, and show it as well. But I mean, it was just the open environment, the sense you get. We felt well cared for the moment we walked in the door. I mean, there was water, everything was just right there. And it just really speaks to the kind of culture that you built. What are some things that you think make you unique and that draw people here from maybe other companies that are doing similar kinds of things?
I think fundamentally, I believe that you should treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the AXXESS Way that I shared with you earlier, it took us 3 years to formalize that document. We had to really think through it and say, what do we want this to be? So it took us 3 years to come up with a one-page document.
Wow.
That really outlines what we want to make you feel at all times. So I'm excited to hear you say that when you walked in, you were treated nicely, you could feel our culture, it was palpable. I'm excited about that. We want that to be the experience at all times. We want our people to feel that way. We want our clients to feel that way at all times. We want the community to know that about AXXESS. That's just who we are. So it's really treating people the way you want to be treated. Making sure everyone has a voice. There's an expression that we see a lot at AXXESS. We say, may the best idea win. And I shared that with you earlier.
Right.
And I may say that a few more times. It's just cultural. May the best idea win. And then we say, check your ego at the door. It's about, we have a vision for where we're going. We all know what that mission is. We're purpose driven. This is what we're trying to get done. It's not about John. When it's all said and done, we want to make sure we made our contributions to how care is delivered. We want to make sure we've made it better. So it's just really getting folks that are excited. People that want to do meaningful work end up here.
Right.
And then it's not just words on paper, because a lot of organizations or individuals say that, they don't leave that. So you have to, your actions have to match your words.
Right.
And as a leader, I have to set the right example. Folks have to see me and say, well, does John model the right behavior? Is John an example of what the AXXESS Way is at all times? I'm human. There are times when maybe I slip up, but the good thing is there are folks at AXXESS that say, hey, John, that's not the AXXESS Way.
They hold you accountable.
Yes,
okay, now
yes,
that's the sign,
yes,
right? Because
yes,
we're all going to
yes,
screw up. But
yes.
when you've got, I say that the bigger the gap between the stated culture, what's on the wall, and the way it actually works, the more dysfunctional the company. So when you have these big gaps, and that really starts with leadership.
Right.
And it's not about leaders being flawless. That to me is one of those indicators of a really great culture. When it happens, people don't go behind, well, John did. They come to you and they say, you didn't do, that's not our way.
I'll tell you a story.
Okay,
I'll tell you, it's a small story. So many, many years ago, we had agreed that we will not eat, at our desks. We have a nice break room area, we call it Central Park, and we just want to make sure this is where that happens.
I love that as a policy already.
Right.
Yeah.
So many years ago, I don't know if I was busy, I was going to take a call or something like that, and I took a plate with me to my office,
Right.
and I was doing important work, very important work for the
Right.
organization. And then someone peeped, you've seen our office is all open, so someone could see me do that. There are no walls here, you can see what's going on all the time. Someone peeked into my office and said, John, that's not the AXXESS Way, you shouldn't be doing that. Before they were done saying that, I had picked up my plate and I dashed out of there. Yes!
Love it.
That happened many, many years ago, and I assure you, it's never happened after that.
Never happened again.
So like you said, there cannot be a stated culture on the wall,
Right.
and then something different. So it's important that as leaders, we're leading from the front, we're being open, we're being transparent about culture. And if folks know just words for you, or if folks know you're phony about it, people see through that.
Yeah.
And so people want something that's real. They want a real experience. And and I just want to close by saying, at AXXESS, our culture is the Holy Grail. Our culture is the Holy Grail. Our culture drives everything. And people know that, and so that's it.
That's it.
I love it. I asked Mark Cuban recently. I said, Mark, you know, invested in 150 companies. You run a whole bunch of others. He had the recent problems with the Mavericks, which he admitted exactly, and brought someone in to fix it.
Right.
But I said, how important do you think culture is? And he said, culture is everything.
Yes.
And then he said it again, culture is everything. Companies don't get, if you'll start with that, everything else falls into place. The rest of the company will, now, I'm not saying there's not some work, but if you get the culture right, you are way ahead of the competition.
You're right, Darren, and I think that's true, and I agree totally, and that's the way I say it. And I shared earlier that it took us 3 years just to get a one-page document explaining our culture. But getting the culture right is not, you never just get it right and that's it. You need to get the culture right every day.
Every day.
You know, you may have built that culture over several years and it's intact, but you can mess it up in one interaction. So you have to be very vigilant. You have to make sure your leaders understand what that is. You have to make sure they buy into that. It's not a destination you get to and then you can hang your hat saying, I've accomplished a great culture. No,
Yeah.
It's something that you need to show up and work on every day to make it better. And as your organization grows, your organization evolves, you bring in new people, it's challenged in different ways. So like Mark said, it's important you leaders understand the culture is the single most important thing, and that will be tested several times. There will be times when revenue is important to all organizations to keep them running, but there will be times when you'll have to make a call. This is what I know the right thing for our culture is, and here's some revenue where you're compromising your culture. In those moments, it's important that everyone in your organization understands exactly the decision that you will make. So
Right.
it's not, you're not compromising that. I'll pick doing the right thing for our organization, for our people, for our community, for our culture at all times over any transactional short-term gains. Does that make sense to you?
It makes
And that needs to be
a lot of sense.
reinforced every day.
Whoa, what an absolute treat. I knew this was going to be fantastic. Hopefully we'll have some more conversations as well. And I'm really excited about you being on. You know, we just launched the Global Company Culture Association. You're actually giving me some tremendous feedback on that.
Nothing you didn't already know.
Yeah, no. Some stuff I really didn't already know, and it was very helpful. But excited about you being a part of our Real Talk series. And
Thank
all
you for
it's
the
intended to
opportunity.
be
Thank you.
is this. Let's get people who are doing it right. So few companies are. I don't know if you saw this statistic. Only 16% of executives say their culture is where it needs to be. And I don't mean tweaking, but they are lost.
Wow.
The reality is, it's not hard. It's hard work, but it's not hard to get it right. It's about treating people right. It's about treating people the way you would like to be treated and making that the priority, and then you reap the rewards of it.
You're
So,
right. And if you don't mind me adding this, Darren, I just want to say this. Look, you mentioned that you said 85% of people don't like their job.
They hate
don't like
their
they
job,
hate
yeah.
their jobs. We say this at AXXESS every day. You spend most of your life at work.
right.
So AXXESS needs to be a happy place for
Yep.
you.
Yep.
And I know when AXXESS is a happy place, it impacts your other lives. It impacts what you do at home and in lots of other places as well. So we do all we can to make sure this is a great place for our people to be, a very positive place. As you look around, as you go around and take a tour, you see that on display. You see
Yeah.
that we care about that deeply, and it's the number one thing. We want to make sure that when our clients are interacting with our people, talking on the phones, or just any interaction, they know when these guys show up at work, they care about what they're doing. But for our folks who do the best work,
Right.
we need to take care of them. So it's
Yeah.
important that this is a happy place, a positive place for our people. And I think more and more organizations should do that.
And it spills out into their families, into the community.
Absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely.
really, really powerful. So,
Absolutely.
John, thank you. I can't say
Thank
thank
you.
you enough. And we're going to
Thank
write
you
that
very
book together.
Thank
I'm really
you.
excited
Looking
about
forward
it.
to that. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, Darren.
Thank you. Thank you so much to AXXESS for having us in today. And you got to check them out. I have a feeling you're going to be getting some job requests. People, film. I want to go work at a place like
We're always hiring. We need smart, talented people. You're welcome to AXXESS. We will do you right.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.